Michelin-starred chefs serve these with truffle, caviar or smoked salmon. Yet at home, scrambled eggs are one of the most commonly ruined food on the planet. They're too watery, or they're rubbery, or they're a sloppy mess. The secret to scrambled eggs isn't the ingredients, they're all the same. The secret hides in the science of the pan. And today I'm going to show you exactly where it hides. Same ingredients, same technique. First we master technique, and then I show you the upgrades. We will use the same ingredients but cook them a bit differently. Actually, as we go on, it gets easier and better. Like this one, which I call the texture monster. I served them with truffles and cheese sauce in my restaurant when I achieved 18 out of 19 points at Gault Millau at the age of 25. But before we get there, let's look at why scrambled eggs failed. There are really 3 reasons. Too much heat, cooking too long, not using enough fat, and adding it at the wrong time. Eggs are mostly water, proteins, and fats. Under heat, proteins harden. They first unfold, and then they connect. That connecting forms the curds, and this is the tricky part. Too much connecting and the scrambled eggs turn rubbery. Control the proteins, and you control texture. Now, fat is an obvious one because you don't want them to stick to the pan, but if you add it throughout the cooking, they suddenly turn out better and the eggs cook even easier. To summarize, the heat is too intense, the texture becomes tough and rubbery, and you get dry and hard eggs. If you have the right heat, but you cook too long, you hit the same wall. So, how do we stop this protein clumping disaster? The answer starts with a trick I learned from the legendary Michel Roux when I worked at the Waterside Inn. But first, know this: scrambled eggs keep cooking even when they are out of the pan. The worst thing you can do is to cook them to perfection and leave them sitting in the pan. Eggs, they really have a mind on their own. They keep cooking even after they leave the pan. This hidden force is called carryover heat. If they look perfect in a pan, they be bone dry by the time they hit your plate. The right moment to remove them from the pan is when they're still slightly wet and still jiggly. So, next, whisking. Whisk with a pinch of salt until the mixture is uniform and slightly frothy. This breaks down the proteins, leading to softer, creamier texture. If they're underbeaten, you get those rubbery white batches in the finished scrambled in. The French method tells you to let them stand for 15 minutes after salting. This will help the salt to break down the eggs and form a buffer that keeps the proteins from clumping together and avoids graininess. Your eggs end up creamier, more like a custard, but be careful. Letting those beaten eggs sitting around for much longer will actually cause them to lose their structure. However, in my method, I salt throughout. I don't even whisk the eggs beforehand because this version is all about dramatic textures. Now, Michel Roux also told me to add a splash of cream in the beginning and a little bit more at the end. And that does magic. It stops the proteins from further clumping by holding the cooking process, and that loose cream gives the eggs an amazing texture. But I would never add milk or water. It's really counterintuitive. It dilutes the flavor and tends to separate during cooking, leaving a sort of a sad puddle of water on your plate. Now the pan needs to be medium hot. Starting cold makes the eggs stick, as cold eggs sort of tend to absorb the fat, and then it's missing when you need it the most. If the pan is too hot, you burn the fat, you burn the eggs, and the eggs develop big curds, and you're back to them being chewy. Now, French style requires a gentle scramble where you push the eggs around using a steady folding motion and form fluffy, distinctive, tiny, tender curds. You go slowly and controlled. Whisking frantically creates an eggy paste close to baby food. Now, here you could go the ultra-traditional French route. Think about the famous recipe of Antonin Carême in the 19th century, where he added butter to the eggs during cooking, and not just a little, a lot. That method almost creates a butter sauce with the eggs. They become delicate, spoonable. It's like a masterpiece with no distinct pieces. That's the canvas for truffle and caviar. But the French don't stop here. There's the double boiler method over low simmering heat, worked with a spatula or even with a whisk for 10 minutes or even longer. Now this breaks the eggs down into microscopic curds before finishing off with cold butter and cream. But we aren't here for a history lesson, so let's stop playing around and make proper scrambled eggs. Let's get the pan hot. Which pan? This is where I always get into trouble. I don't think you need one of those nasty non-stick coated pans. You can control the heat differently. A bit of butter into a medium hot pan. Eggs whisked and salted. Add the eggs when the butter begins to bubble. Immediately turn the heat to low. Stir. Controlled. Slow. Take your time. The texture depends on when and how the eggs are distributed. If you stop stirring, you get large irregular curds because the bottom layer sets into a firm sheet. Constant scraping, on the other hand, produces a creamy mass with fine curds, almost like a porridge. If the stove gets too hot, move the pan off the heat. Then remove them from the heat while they are still slightly underdone. Remember that carryover heat. You will see that if you work with the right heat, the eggs don't stick to the pan anyway. So, low and slow. Stir and control. But don't whisk it too much. This traditional method is great, but it's just the warm-up for what I call the texture monster. A method I developed and actually breaks the rules of cooking. And it gets you a better result. This time, cream goes straight into the pan, then I simmer it. Now I add the eggs completely whole. I salt and pepper them. I don't dirty a whisk or bowl, as you see. Call me lazy, but it's actually a scientific idea. Egg whites and egg yolks, they cook at completely different temperatures. Whites turn solid at 62 to 65 degrees Celsius, while the yolks don't even begin to thicken until 65 to 70. With the traditional method, you're forced to cook the mixture until the yolks start to set, which means the delicate whites are already overcooked and rubbery. In this method, the simmering cream reduces and emulsifies with the outer edges of the whites, making it a silky sauce. The cream plays its own role entirely. It helps the whites to cook perfectly and slowly turning them into a quake, forming tender, sort of glossy curds that are barely set and really velvety, while keeping the yolks rich and raw. Then I turn off the heat, I pop the yolks, and they flood the warm cooked egg whites, creating a natural warm custard-like sauce. The yolks stop the whites from cooking, and the residual heat from the whites warms the yolk without cooking them. Everything reaches the perfect consistency. I stirred a little longer to bring it all together. Now I have a multi-dimensional mouthfeel that traditional scrambling can never achieve. Tender, soft, pillowy egg white curds coated with a rich glaze of egg yolk. Now look at that. Individual texture and distinctive flavor. All that's missing are some truffles and some Gruyère cheese sauce. So these are the hows and wins to succeed with scrambled eggs. So don't fall into the trap thinking that because eggs are simple, you cannot fail. Because often in cooking, the simpler the food, the more confusion it causes. So the difference between average and exceptional isn't a secret ingredient or a special pan or luck. It's understanding what the eggs are doing every second they're in the pan. Once you understand that, perfect scrambled egg become repeatable. So let's go and taste and compare them. A taste tester here.
Hello.
Who will tell us which ones are the best?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So my start. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
That one I need to
Does it go worst, better?
No, not at all today.
Okay. No giveaways then.
Just different.
That one looks very pretty compared to the other three.
I want that to win.
Okay, right, hint. Just a little hint there.
No pressure.
Okay, no pressure.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Okay, number 1. Good old scrambled eggs. Who doesn't like scrambled eggs in the morning? Tasty.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's our texture?
Creamy.
Creamy.
Yep.
Okay, next one.
Oh, that was quick.
So
Next one.
That's the traditional French one.
Yeah.
Cooked
I like
in the
that.
pan. Yeah, they're pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah, that's nice. Yes. Okay, next one. Oh, looks very runny. Not very inviting.
Taste them.
But someone who loves eggs, I'm sort of thinking someone who doesn't like eggs, they probably wouldn't get anywhere near their mouths with this one. Extremely creamy.
There we go.
Totally unexpected. The flavour's actually okay.
Well, it's the same thing. Yeah, it's very creamy, but that's obviously what you do when you serve them with truffles and smoked salmon and all that.
Makes sense, yes. I'll try it again with that in mind. That's actually quite beautiful, actually.
Yeah.
Just not like a scrambled version, just a very soft,
Creamy.
creamy version.
Okay, next one then.
Okay.
Let's see if that's better.
Better than this one, or just
don't
better in general? More buttery.
Yeah. So that's obviously a recipe
Yeah.
from 1860. Sort of approximately a third of it is butter.
Yeah, definitely taste the butter in that. And it's still as nice as that one,
Yeah.
but just more butter flavour.
So that's obviously, again,
Yeah.
that's caviar. You know.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
Okay.
I will not judge by appearances. If you put a bit of caviar with it, then I might think otherwise. But yeah,
Okay.
tasting those was quite pleasant.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they are nice, aren't they?
All right. So, the grand finale.
Yeah.
Gonna dive in?
Yeah.
And you put a little bit of truffle?
Truffle and cheese sauce. Just like I used to serve it.
A lot more texture to that one.
Yeah.
Yep. You can even see it. It's very beautifully done, actually, because it's quite pretty. But the texture that kind of shines through. And so this one's quite, it's just creamy.
Yeah, it's one-dimensional, you know?
Yes, that's how I'd describe it. This is more three-dimensional.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's beautiful with the truffles. Very nice. And the creamy cheese sauce, is it? What was put in that apart from cheese?
Shallots, white wine. I placed the recipe in the link below. Well, actually, I placed a video of mine in the link below where I show you how to make that. It's pretty easy. So,
No, that's excellent. Yeah. Surprisingly, I'd almost say that that's the plainest
yes.
out of the 4.
Yeah.
Even though initially I thought, well, it's got more texture and these two don't, but those are very, very powerful flavours as well.
4 totally different results. Same ingredients, just different techniques. So if you want to learn a bit more about eggs and how to perfect your poached eggs, then check out my video on that.
Poached eggs.
Poached eggs.
That's a different video. This isn't poached.
Scrambled eggs.
I know. Why did you just promote poached eggs?
Well, to tell people that they should watch another video after this one.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't really listening. I was still tasting scrambled eggs. I was still in egg heaven. Yes, poached eggs. Like the spinning vortex one that you did a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah, that was spinning. Fabulous. I'm going to shut up now.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Well
Thanks
done.
so much. See you next time.
All right, see you next week.